Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is testing a key level of resistance, while Ethereum is forming a new pattern in the short term that we need to pay attention to. So more on that later in the video. Definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a quick update on the daily Bitcoin chart, and right now, as I also mentioned in my last video, this bullish divergence on the daily Bitcoin chart is potentially beginning to wear off, because on average, these bullish divergences on the daily time frame last for roughly around 1 to 2 weeks before they wear off. But with that being said, we have not yet seen a return in bearish momentum on the daily time frame, because if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin RSI, this is still holding above this ascending line of support, and while this remains to be the case, we are still in this pause from the larger bearish trend at play. And on top of that, if you're looking at the weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously we have a massive bullish divergence on this time frame that has just recently been confirmed in the last 1 to 2 weeks. And usually these divergences visible on the weekly time frame play out over multiple months, which means technically speaking, based on this bullish divergence on the weekly Bitcoin chart, we could be due to see reduced bearish momentum over the next 1 to 2 months or so. But of course, when I'm talking about the weekly time frame, I'm talking about moves relative to the weekly time frame, so I wouldn't exactly be expecting significant moves to the downside like this while this bullish divergence is active. But of course, we can always experience short-term movements which look large on smaller time frames but are really insignificant on these much larger time frames. But anyway, zooming into the shorter term, this right here is the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, and right now the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is currently running into this downward sloping line of resistance, which is sitting at around 65 in the RSI. And if we end up seeing a break above that key level of resistance in the RSI, then that would essentially mean that this previous bearish divergence is over. It has already played out, and generally speaking, these bearish divergences on the 4-hour time frame play out over around 1 to 2 days on average. So this was a pretty normal outcome from a bearish divergence on the smaller time frames. And as for support and resistance, right now the price of Bitcoin, as I'm recording this video, is sitting just above that $17,100 level of resistance, which means technically speaking, that should now be acting as new support for the price of Bitcoin, at least just in the short term. But if we end up seeing another break back below 17.1k, then the next short-term support level that I'll be watching is sitting at around 16.7 to 16.8k approximately, based on this previous level of resistance. And obviously that is right where the price bounced at over the last 1 day or so. And as for some short-term resistance, right now I'll be watching 17.4k to 17.5k based on this local high right here, and also these 4-hour candle closes acting as resistance. But overall, in terms of the shorter term trend, I'm remaining somewhat neutral rather than overly bullish or overly bearish as of right now, because at least at the time of recording this video, the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD isn't really showing a lot of momentum to either direction. And once again, that 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is still currently getting held down by this resistance, which isn't exactly a bullish signal. But overall, the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI has been basically chopping around sideways, especially over the last few days. And the same can be said about the Bitcoin price itself over the last 1 week or so. And so once again, one of the most likely scenarios in the imminent short term is continued choppy sideways price action for a little while longer. And then if we eventually see a signal like a breakout in the RSI above this resistance, then a signal like that would essentially tell us that we're due to see some more bullish price action, but we haven't seen that just yet. And in case you're wondering about this previous ascending broadening wedge pattern, obviously it initially broke to the downside and hit the first technical price target for this pattern, which was sitting at around 16.8k, but the Bitcoin price did indeed fall short of the second technical price target for this pattern, which was sitting at around 16.5k approximately. And considering the fact that the Bitcoin price has now broken back above this previous level of support, that means that this pattern is now invalid, and that technical price target, which was sitting at around 16.5k, is also no longer in play. And so this right here is a perfect example as to why I personally always keep a stop loss on my trades. So for example, if I'm trading a break to the downside like this, then personally I would always place a stop loss for that trade to minimize any losses in case we see an early reversal. And if you want to know more about stop losses and Bitcoin trading overall, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and as of recording this video, the price of ETH is still holding above this line of support, which is sitting at approximately 1240. But even if the price of ETH breaks below 1240, as I mentioned in my last video, we do also have the golden pocket level of support sitting at around 1.2k. But anyway, getting into the shorter term, this right here is the 4-hour chart. Right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is still running into this same range of resistance, coming into play in between around 1280, going up towards around 1320. And in case you're wondering, this previous bearish divergence has already played out, so it's already finished, because if you're extending this line of resistance in the 4-hour Ethereum RSI, you can see that over the last one day, we've seen a clean break above this line of resistance in the 4-hour Ethereum RSI, which essentially means this previous bearish divergence is now over. And now, aside from that, and aside from this level of resistance, as for support, we do have some short-term support at around 1220, as I mentioned in my last video, because of course, this is based on this previous key level of resistance, which is now flipped into new support. But overall, in terms of the shorter term trend, I'm still remaining somewhat neutral, so not overly bullish or overly bearish in the short term, which means most likely some choppy sideways price action is still to come. But if you look at this 4-hour Ethereum chart, right now the price of ETH is forming a descending broadening wedge pattern, which is technically a bullish pattern, which means it's slightly more likely to break out to the upside compared to breaking to the downside. But obviously, we still ideally need to see a confirmed break above this level of resistance in order to actually activate the technical price targets for this pattern. And in case you're wondering what that price target would be, if we break above this level of resistance, which is sitting at around 1.3k, then the technical price target for this pattern would be sitting at around 1380, which is also the same technical price target for a previous cup and handle pattern that I covered a few videos back. So if we see a confirmed breakout above this level of resistance at around 1.3k, the move to that technical price target, if this pattern completes, would be around a 6% gain to the upside. And in case you're wondering, the line of support as of right now for this pattern is sitting at approximately 1210, so just above 1.2k. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter what the price is doing, whether the price is going up, down, or simply chopping around sideways, you can make money in crypto by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left of your screen shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.